Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Dangerous Relationship along Akira Senba's route. We are on chapter 8 with him. I can't endure it, and I hope that doesn't portend something bad about his partner's operation. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. The shrill ringing of a phone broke the silence. Please be good news.
Hello? Akira here.
He snatched up the phone quickly and answered it. It might have been a call from the hospital.
Yeah, I see. Yeah?
It was impossible to tell from his voice if the news was good or bad. I anxiously waited for the call to end. When he finally ended the call, Akira sighed and turned to me. Akira? I hesitantly prodded him to talk.
It was a call from the program staff.
Oh? So it hadn't been from the hospital after all.
They wanted to congratulate me on my performance and apologize.
That's great, but apologize for what? For the jerk of a host who leaked information that I shouldn't have?
The host. They were worried he might have made me angry.
I see. Even though I could tell that the host had said a few nasty things intentionally.
But the producer watched the recording and apparently liked it a lot.
That's wonderful.
If the ratings are good, they said they want me to come back as a duo.
Really?
Speaking of which, I wonder how the surgery is going.
He stared at his palm, where he still held the phone. We should know soon enough. The doctor said it was a complicated surgery, so maybe it had run long. Can't we start heading over there, whether it was a success or not? It was impossible for us to know, so we couldn't do anything but wait. Surely Akira felt much more anxious than I, and that was saying a lot. Akira! I put my hands on his shoulders to soothe and comfort him.
Dirili.
He took my hands in his and interlocked our fingers. I will encourage him. Keep your spirits up, man. It'll be fine. You said it yourself.
That's true.
Akira smiled faintly at me. It seemed that it cheered him up, at least a little bit.
He'll be back in business in no time. You just wait and see.
I squeezed his hand in mine to reassure him.
You're always there to save me.
I am? I wasn't sure I had really done anything at all.
Even today, you were there for me in the audience.
He was so worried about his partner, and yet went on stage and gave a great performance. You're incredible. You really are.
Dirili.
His arms grabbed around me and held me tight.
Thank you.
Akira. This time, it was my turn to hug him. Just then, his phone rang again. He picked his phone up slowly and glanced at the display. Akira looked into my eyes and nodded. It was from the hospital this time for sure.
Akira speaking.
My heart raced as he spoke on the phone. I prayed harder than ever that we would get good news.
Yes? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great.
In just a few exchanged words, the life had returned to his voice. I had no doubts that Akira was hearing everything he wanted to.
Okay, thanks so much.
He finished and ended the call.
Dirili.
Whoa! He jumped on me with such vigor that both of us tumbled over.
The surgery was a success.
That's wonderful. I was so glad to hear the news that my eyes flooded with tears. We should go there to celebrate.
Can't. No visitors allowed just yet.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. I had been so thrilled that I almost got ahead of myself there. But then I imagined Akira. He must be feeling 1,000 times more excited than me.
We can go visit in a week, though. They said it's okay.
That's great.
It really is.
Tears began to flow from his eyes as well.
Truly, it is.
He buried his face into my bosom and cried.
Ugh.
Akira. I felt his tears seep into my clothes. He was feeling the impact of all those memories and fond feelings come to life. It was my turn to be there for him and hold him as he cried. I gently stroked his back as he trembled and sobbed. After some time, Akira ceased his crying and pulled away from me.
Sorry you had to see that. It's pathetic, isn't it?
Not at all. On the contrary, it made me love him even more.
Oh yeah, I need to introduce you to my partner.
Yeah, you should have done that before. Huh?
got to brag to him that I got a girlfriend.
You haven't told him yet? I can be sad. Of course I'm not going to be angry. I should be jokingly sad. That makes me feel a little sad. I sulked a little in front of him. I think I am joking.
Sorry, I just couldn't find the right time to say it.
Being in the hospital and in surgery, I could see why, but still felt sad. Oh, I actually am sad.
I'll say it for sure this time, when I go to visit.
Well, you're going to have to, because I'm going to be there with you. Please do. I would have to tell Tomoko about Akira as well. I wondered what she would say when she found out my boyfriend was a comedian. I'd like to see him too, once things calm down a bit. Whoever he was, knowing how important he was to Akira made me curious.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Good.
But right now...
Akira leaned close to me and whispered in my ear. Well, nothing else to do now but fool around.
Now, I just want you.
Right here? Right now?
That's right.
But what if someone sees us?
Hearing the good news just took a load off my shoulders. I just feel so good right now.
So good that it makes you horny, apparently. Lock the door, at least.
It makes me want to hold you. Is that wrong?
Isn't this the place we had our first time anyway? No, I want to share that feeling with you too. I said, blushing severely to the tips of my ears.
Dirili.
Slowly and gently, he lowered me down. His kiss skipped from my lips and covered all over my body. Akira. I couldn't hold back either, and my lips traced down his neck.
You're wild today. Don't hold back.
It's your fault.
We're just getting started, though.
He slid his finger to a sensitive area and wiggled it around.
Too loud and people will hear you outside.
Akira whispered in my ear before nibbling on my earlobe. Akira, you're so naughty.
And you're so cute.
His tongue licked my bosom, forcing a heated breath from my lips. Pressing his finger deeper inside me, I shuddered with pleasure.
You're really feeling it today, aren't you?
Shut up! He made me feel so embarrassed, I had to look away. It didn't help that he was saying how adorable and cute I was over and over.
So cute.
I squirmed beneath his teasing grin as he molested my body. Reaching out, I grabbed onto his arms and held on tight.
After my partner got sick, I was so worried.
Wait, are we still in the middle of stuff or is this afterwards? We need clear transitions here, guys. Squeezed between his arms, I listened to his story.
That's about the same time I met you.
Being reminded of our meeting made it seem like just yesterday and so long ago. So his partner actually hasn't been sick that long.
If something happened, I'd have to go on alone, and I wasn't prepared for that.
I perked my ears and listened to him intently.
We had always worked together, so I never considered the possibility of being alone. At first, I didn't think I could make it solo while waiting for my partner to recover. But then I met you.
And saw me joking with my friend Tomoko. Even hearing about it now was embarrassing. Though I was willing to put up with it since that brought us together.
The way you jabbed at her reminded me so much of my partner.
Huh?
The way you did it and the timing was so brilliant.
Is that why you ended up liking me? Just because I did something that reminded him of his partner? Is that why he asked me to become his partner?
No, seeing that was just a coincidence.
His eyes looked past me as his cheeks colored red.
It was really love at first sight.
He tugged me into his arms.
When you ran into me and I had you in my arms, I knew right then that it was love.
Really? I asked, feeling slightly doubtful.
Really, that's why the next time I saw you I had to confess. Though it didn't really turn out well.
Well, that's because you asked me to be your partner.
Yeah, that wasn't the brightest thing to say at the time.
So why did you say it?
I was so nervous then that I could barely breathe.
It didn't look like that at all.
Yeah, that's because I'm good at acting.
No fair, I freaked out. But that makes us the same.
How so?
I fell in love then too, but that's kind of a lie really, because after that moment you split off into 5 different stories and you fell in love with 5 different guys. That was, after all, the truth.
Really?
I was so nervous too. At that time, I felt like my heart was exploding from inside.
I don't doubt it. We both were a wreck.
Remembering that day, he smiled fondly.
But we're together now. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Akira
leaned in to kiss me. I squeezed around him, letting the joy of being together fill my heart and soul.
Let's do it once more.
His tongue slipped inside my mouth and wrapped around mine. I know you. You won't stop with just once. I squirmed away and pushed myself off him.
It's too late now. You signed up for this.
Akira! Once more, I found myself drawn into his clutches to make love.
Thanks for the goodies. My partner loved them. Good to know.
Akira and I had come to the cafe for another one of our dates. He had just returned from visiting his partner at the hospital.
He was saying how much he missed your coffee. It's the best, you know. I'll have to toss in a special bonus when they come. When has your special bonus been anything other than an extra straw or two? Haha, you got me.
Akira spoke to the owner briefly before coming over to me.
Sorry to make you wait.
He sat down in the chair next to me. Interesting as always, that owner.
True that. Never a dull moment.
I sipped my coffee and enjoyed the wonderful taste and aroma.
My partner's doing really well. Recovery is coming along just fine.
That's wonderful.
It looks like he'll be out of the hospital around the end of the month.
That's not too long.
No, it's not, thankfully.
I can't wait. I was positive that Akira looked forward to the day much more than me.
Although I'll have to keep going solo until the time comes.
So it's double duty for you until next month?
Unless you can clone me.
We laughed, fully enjoying our days together without being hounded by worry.
I talked about you.
You did? Akira said he would tell his partner about me, but I didn't know he met today. And? I asked hesitantly, my curiosity itching to be filled.
He wished us the best of luck.
Thank goodness. That was a weight off my shoulders. Did you think he would tell him to break up with you? It was good to have approval from someone Akira cared so deeply about. Yeah, but you haven't met him yet. He might disapprove after he meets you.
Kinda got mad at me for not talking about you earlier, though. He wants to see you, too.
Really?
And made me promise not to keep causing trouble for you. Geez, the things I do for love.
Akira rolled his eyes, but his smile showed he didn't mean it. I should go with you the next time, then.
Yeah, I need to gloat now and show off my prize catch.
Akira!
And have you jab at my jokes.
Akira's voice suddenly trailed off. I wasn't sure why, but I looked at him curiously. Akira?
We need to have a talk.
His eyes turned on me seriously.
Let's go somewhere else. Your place?
I don't mind, but not knowing what he wanted to talk about scared me. So, as we sat down on my sofa, I tried to figure out what this was all about. Well, what did you want to talk to me about?
I need to apologize to you.
Huh? What had he done that he needed to apologize for?
I'm so sorry.
For what?
For asking you to become my partner.
Oh, that? Why would you have to apologize for that?
I shouldn't have asked you about such an absurd thing, no matter how scared I was to go solo. I wish I could take back what I said. You see, as a comedian, I realized no one can be a substitute for my partner. No one. So, I'm sorry for ever asking.
He lowered his head as if ashamed. It's okay. I can't say I'd have been good at it. What are you saying? I'm a stylist, not a comedian. It's okay. It didn't really bother me, to be honest, but it meant a lot to him, apparently. So I had no reason to accept his apology.
Sorry for saying something so foolish. But you'll always be my partner for life. That hasn't changed. It never will.
Akira. I was so touched at his words that my cheeks and ears blushed red.
So, if you can put up with me, I'll always be here for you.
I wouldn't want it any other way. His hand stroked my cheek, so I closed my eyes. He first pushed his lips onto mine, and then his arms entwined around me. Cradled in one another's arms, we slipped into bed. Calling my name over and over, his kisses sprinkled across my body.
I love you.
I love you too. An undeniable feeling of love and warmth filled me from head to toe. Oh, thank goodness his friend came through with flying colors. I wonder if we'll actually get to meet him. We'll have to see standard procedures. Maybe that means we'll get to meet him. I don't know why. It's such a vague thing, but I feel like that might have something to do with it. Who knows? Well, anyway, I hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.